What's going on? It's so good to have you.
I know. I'm happy to do this. Thank you guys for having me. I'm glad that we were finally able to do something together. I remember meeting with you guys in Denver, and I've always seen you guys like on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. So it's really cool.
Yeah. And Jess, your girlfriend.
Yeah. She's over in another room working.
Hey, Jess.
Shout out Jess.
Shout out to Jess.
She's like the awesome dubstep mom that we see always supporting you and posting the videos. Love to see it.
She's the best, girlfriend in the world. And also she's like heavily involved with the project itself. So like I owe so much to her in terms of like my own career.
I like to say behind every big artist is his girlfriend with her iPhone, but right behind him, behind the decks, getting those stories.
Yeah, she's always doing that, and it's like so much more than that with her. She's because she does marketing at Dimmock, like that background. It's really helped me. Like she's literally part of like the management team. She's part of every decision that I make. She's constantly like, she's in all the meetings and stuff. Like she's literally part of the Ray Volpe project. So it's I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, I know that with Chrissy dating High Zombie, she's helping it with like tour management and everything and like the social media stuff. And so
That's
shout
awesome.
out to all the girlfriends who are dating dubstep artists.
Yeah.
I think that we're in the future is female. There's this big group on Twitter with like 100 girls in the industry. I believe that she's in that one too. I think I
think she brought up that she was in like a girl group on Twitter. So that must be that one.
Yeah. Those girls are so helpful. Yesterday, I was actually looking for blogs that focus on like pop punk and rock and like that kind of alternative music. And I shot a quick message in the group, and there were like 2 girls who gave me 10 plus blogs and contacts to reach out to. So,
that's perfect.
Ladies, if you're listening, y'all are rock stars.
That's really cool that it's just like a super resourceful group of just positivity too. Yeah. That's really dope.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're going to go to a couple of shows this year. Like, what do you got lined up? You got Ember Shores with Millennium.
Yeah, I got Ember Shores Millennium. That's gonna be really cool in Cancun. I have 2 shows that actually there's a couple of shows that are supposed to happen this year that haven't been announced yet. But aside from those, I have Excision San Francisco. I think that's December 10th.
Yeah.
I'm also doing direct support for Millennium in Minneapolis the day after, December 11th at the Armory. And that one I'm really excited about because I always have a lot of fun in Minneapolis, but just the direct support for Millennium is like crazy. I'm like very, very, very grateful for that opportunity.
That Minneapolis crowd, those people go wild. We were there,
absolutely.
We were at the Loft like back in July just for High Zombie and Bainbridge, and they were lining up for doors and they packed it out. It was almost sold out. So you'll have a really good show.
Yeah, I've I did the Loft back in August. It was like it's like every time I'm in Minneapolis in general, just it's such a crazy crowd. I feel like they're one of like I feel like I think they're kind of underrated because I think some people, a lot of people, I mean, obviously in terms of America, Denver's like the base capital, but I think Minneapolis definitely deserves a better rep for that because they go hard for sure.
Dude, I know. I didn't even know there were headbangers that far north. Like what?
Yeah.
Are there other cities that you've traveled to that you think are also underrated that not a lot of people might not know about?
Ooh, underrated. That's a really good question. I feel like Portland is like, because I feel like everyone goes to Seattle, for like the Pacific Northwest shows, and Seattle is definitely like one of the top markets in terms of that. But I feel like Portland gets overlooked a little bit because I really like the shows over there, and I really like the city in general. So I feel like every time I'm there, it's just like it slaps just as hard as something like Seattle would. I know Portland's still a big city, but in terms of like the markets and stuff, people obviously would point to Seattle instead because it's like a couple hours away. But I think Portland is like another underrated one.
Yeah, I've only been there to visit, but I've never actually been there to a show. And all I've heard about Portland outside of that and outside of having good food is the naked bike races.
Yeah, that is a thing. I think they have people do like your gas for you too. Like I think in Oregon it's like a law, or it used to be. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't. That's a whole job to have. That's crazy.
The pump attendants.
Yeah, that's such a wild thought to me that someone's like don't you fucking dare touch the gas pump if you have to have someone else do it. That's just a wild idea to me.
I mean, I would take it because now, ever since COVID, every time I'm at the pump, I feel like I need to be wearing a glove because I heard that that's where a lot of the spread was happening. Like
That makes sense.
The pump handles are just so gross. I don't really want to touch it anyways.
So I'm from North Carolina. I don't know if it was there or if it was somewhere else, but I remember like 10 years ago, I read this story where there was like a big problem where people were putting like needles like by the gas pump. So people, if you go to grab it, like you're getting like, stabbed.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What kind of sick people are out there?
It's terrifying, disgusting. Absolutely.
One extra thing I have to worry about is fucking
just
needles.
Add it to the list of, millions of other things.
Seriously.
Well, fuck.
So don't touch your own
bring
pump.
the mood down there.
I know. Let's hype it up here. Just kidding.
Yeah. So
well, actually, I do. So you did sign with Disciple this summer. That's like probably the biggest news of your career, right?
It's a really, really cool moment. A lot of people already thought that I was with them. So it was kind of like a natural step to take. Mm-hmm. It was something we've had in the works for a while too, because I had done the World Domination release with them. That was my first EP with them back in August of 2020. And before that, I have always known a lot of the guys that are at the label in terms of the artists and behind the scenes, like the staff. I've known all those dudes for years. And sometimes it would just be in brief passing. Some of them I was closer with than others. And it was just kind of like, hey, why haven't I done anything with them yet? So we went ahead and I did that EP, and the announcement of just that EP in general, like it did super well, and people were freaked out at the idea of me even being involved with the label at all. So before my Mixed Feelings EP came out on Subsidia earlier this year, I was sitting down with my manager, Pat, and with Jess, my girlfriend. We were like trying to figure out what the next move was. And we had all kind of come to the consensus that like, hey, we should click up with, like some type of, label, just kind of solidify ourselves somewhere. And it kind of just went back to Disciple. So we hit them up and we talked about it, and they were interested, and it was just that easy. And so we knew, and we kind of solidified that back in April before the Mixed Feelings EP even came out. So it was kind of a situation like, hey, we have this EP coming out on Subsidia in May. So like, we can't like do this. And like, you don't want to drop two EPs back to back. Right. So like, we were just sitting on this secret waiting for like, the EP came out in August. And so we were waiting for months just to tell people. It was like it was a hard secret to keep. Like my close friends knew, but some of my close friends, I didn't tell because I wanted to see their faces, and it was a fun reaction for sure.
I have to ask, and this is a question that a lot of people might not know the answer to. When you sign like with Disciple, or, there's other labels that take on artists, that means that you're with them for a year, right? So like all of your releases for that next year or however long it may be need to be on that label.
So there's two types of deals that you can get. Some are like term deals like that, where they will sign you for periods of time. And then there's also other term deals where they'll sign you for releases. So, for example, like some labels, they'll be like, yeah, we want you for 3 years. Yeah. But those I don't see happen as much anymore, because there's not as much control on either side there. So what I see a lot now are term releases where they're like, we'll sign you for 3 EPs or 6 EPs. That way,
that makes more sense.
That can be over however much amount of time. But then there's also there's pros and cons to that, because it's like, okay, like you're set for like a certain amount, maybe a budget for music or videos or marketing, et cetera, et cetera. But then otherwise, maybe if the label rejects the music, it's like you could be stuck in there longer because, whatever the case may be.
Speaking of collabs, do you have any that you can spill that maybe not anyone knows about?
There's one that I just got. Like I just got confirmation that I'm doing, and I'm like freaked out about, and I can't say who it is, but I would say, I don't know how to like word this without giving out too much. I would say, all right. So here, the ones I have currently that I can talk about, I have a Marshmello collab, which is really sick.
What the heck?
So I have a Marshmello collab that he's been playing out. What were you saying?
Yeah, didn't he play it out?
Yeah, he opened with it at Lala. I went over.
That's right.
I sent him some songs, and he liked one, and we were like, let's work on it. So I was like, cool. So I went over, and he told me he was going to open with it at Lala, and I was like, All right, sick. So I watched it on the live stream and it was really, really cool.
That is a
Dude.
big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a big win right there. Holy shit. I think that's a bigger moment than getting signed with Disciple.
Sorry, Michelle.
the timing worked out really well because I had signed a Disciple and then like the next week was Lala. So like it was like I put up like the announcement and the next week was like, yo, I have a collab with Marshmello, and it's not completely finished yet. We're not sure on the release plan on it or anything, but there's that. I have one with Nightmare that we've been playing out both like all the festivals and stuff.
Maybe he'll play it this weekend at EDCO.
I would say you'll definitely hear it. Yeah, it's been like a staple in the set, so I'll be really cool to see. EDC Orlando looks like so much fun. I've been to EDC Vegas once, but Orlando seems like such a cool vibe in a different way, you know?
Yeah, with those Florida people down there, they get crazy.
Yeah, they're already crazy. Like they're all getting crazy for other reasons, you know? So
yeah.
I've only been to Vegas, but I've never been to EDC Orlando. So guess we'll see how the crowd is over there, if it's any different.
I did like a unofficial pre-party for EDC Orlando in like 2017 or something, and it was like the weirdest experience of my life, but one of the craziest crowds. So maybe that's an underrated one there, because I was like shocked at like the energy in it.
What venue was it at?
I couldn't tell you. It was 2017. I was a decent amount smaller. It was like a random bar, but it was packed out with like, it was like overpacked for the amount of people that were like that you could put in there. And it was just weird. It was just like, it was a weird place. It didn't look like they were supposed to be playing EDM in there, but it was fun. It was fun, you know?
Interesting. That sounds like Florida. Yeah, see, that sounds like one of the experiences you had with after, what was it, abduction?
Damn. Yeah. So basically, I don't know if you've heard of abduction. It was one of
that's the one that like shut down briefly, right?
Yeah. So basically, I showed up early to go support the homies, you know, and then it gets super, super, super windy, and I just have this thought in my head, like, oh fuck, they're literally gonna, like, they better not cancel this event because it is really, really windy, but there's no rain and there's no thunder. And I guess no one noticed, because I guess the guys behind the stages, like the stage was literally about to like fly away. Literally,
it's like swaying and shit.
Yeah,
like
it was swaying.
The screen was going back and forth.
The screen was swaying.
I've dealt with that before too.
And so all this shit was happening behind the scenes while everyone, including myself, were raging in the crowd. And then they just suddenly cut the cord. And then, you know, police come by and they're telling everyone they have to leave the event. And so we evacuated, and I ended up at this random tavern down the street, and there was literally families there. And they're, just imagine like families with little kids, and then a bunch of kids and, you know, ravers with like thongs and fishnets and fur boots rolling in, and just like raging and taking over the place. And then you go into like downtown Orlando, and there was a fuck ton of people in downtown. Like every single bar that you could think of was shoulder to shoulder, like that's every single bar. So that was a really weird night. Like there were so many after parties going on. Even Rated R's after party at one of the bars there. It was on the second floor, but then on that second floor is the stage, and then there's a balcony. So technically that's the third floor. Imagine seeing all these people headbanging and trying to mosh in that balcony, and seeing that balcony sway. Like that was really sketchy.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm out. Peace.
That's
yeah, I get scared
Florida
anytime,
behavior.
Anytime there's like unstable anything, like a stage or like a balcony or something, I get nervous for sure.
Dude, like the art car. So we were with Welcome at Vegas a few weeks ago, and the art car that we were on, it was just like this little rickety thing. You had to climb up a ladder to get to the decks and everything up top. And during emo night, there were probably 20 people up there, and we were like scared that it was going to break.
Oh, that's, yeah, no, I feel like the art cars are like, they feel like you're gonna just like fall over or tip over at any point.
Yeah, they're like botched together.
The Welcome art card looked really sick. I know like Lennon did the guest spot and stuff. It looked really cool.
Yeah, it was popping off. The only thing is that the sound bleed was a little bad because we were right next to the main stage.
That's the issue with the art cars, is like you're gonna like get sound bleed at some point. But I mean, it was like packed out, I feel like, from the whole weekend, which is really, really dope.
Yeah,
absolutely. I feel like it was like a well sought after art car, because like Welcome's a cool label. So
Absolutely. Shout out Keizo.
Shout out Keizo.
Shout out to the Welcome fam. Well, Ray, we actually have a ton of submitted questions from fans.
Ooh.
So I figure we could just go through some of these and we can just go from there.
Ask me anything. I'm here for it.
All right. So I'll get started. First one is from Turner Brim XTX. He said, or he asked, what did you do before dubstep? Were you in bands, job, school? Like, what did you do?
I started making music when I was 12, almost 13. So definitely no job. I started making music in 2010. I was in 7th grade. Like, I don't know if it was like going into 7th grade or like the summer into 8th grade. I can't remember. But yeah, I was me and my friend Tyler, who lived across the street from me, and we were just messing around in FL. And then he just kind of went and played lacrosse. And then I was like, I'm gonna keep doing this. And then I moved to Ableton. But before that, I was really into video stuff, like so video editing and film production, which sounds weird because I was like at that point 11 and younger, but I was actually making YouTube videos since I was about 8 or so, maybe 9.
Wow.
I used to edit when I was maybe 11 through 14, so going into music a little bit, that time period. I was editing a lot of montages, like Call of Duty montages for gamers and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I was doing a lot of stuff at that point for various gamers and stuff and players, and I was editing for them, and I was doing other like editing stuff. So I was like integrated in like the editing community and like YouTube stuff, and I would use a lot of post-hardcore and also EDM for those videos. And I always liked post-hardcore growing up. It was always like an influence for me. And then EDM, I was like, oh, this is like really awesome. So like, let me try making it. So that's what triggered me and my friend Tyler from 7th grade to be like, hey, let's just try making music. And then things kind of went from there.
That's so sick. We're using the Movie Maker, the good old Windows Movie Maker.
I started off in Movie Maker when I was like probably like 8 or 9, and then I quickly moved to Sony Vegas, and then I was like completely fluent through like Premiere and After Effects by the time I was like 12, probably.
Wow,
by the time
After
I started
Effects too.
making music.
After Effects is a beast. I just started learning it last year. God damn.
It's really dope. Did you come from Premiere or a different program?
So initially I was just using like Adobe Essential, like Elements, that's what it's called. Adobe Premiere Elements, the most basic one. And then I started learning Premiere a little bit. And then we started uploading music visualizers on our YouTube just to premiere some tracks from artists through the DUBSTEP FBI channel. And so I just went on YouTube University and tried out some templates, and here we are, just continuously learning on YouTube University.
That's awesome. Yeah, After Effects is like a crazy beast. I feel like especially for like if you're gonna do the visualizers, it makes more sense because I try not to go into After Effects anymore out of just like pure just time to take time to like do anything. So I edit videos for like my Patreon and stuff. And since that's all just cuts, I just do it through Premiere, and then I'll just open that sequence in After Effects if I need to do anything like effect heavy basically, or like motion tracking or something for whatever reason. But definitely After Effects is just like I could talk about video editing all day. I'll just go into like a hole because I just love it.
Do you have any tutorials on your YouTube of video editing?
I do on like I have there's an abandoned channel where I made tutorials on Photoshop and Premiere, but I will never tell anybody what that channel is.
The archives.
All right, Christy, we got to put on the FBI hat, do some digging.
DUBSTEP FBI is going to go undercover deep for this one.
Yeah, we'll find it. Our street team will find it.
Perfect.
Next question, we have Aaron Andrews. He's wondering how you got booked for your first show. Like, were you just a DJ or did you already have music out?
So I already had music out. There's 2 first shows that I look at, or maybe like 3, because it's kind of interesting, like what you would consider like the first show, I guess. Back in 2015. So I was like a sophomore in high school, I think. And I definitely was, because it plays into the story. I got approached by a frat in Texas, UT Austin, to headline, which I shouldn't be headlining anything at this point because I had like 10,000. No, 2015. I had like 30,000 followers on SoundCloud. Like I had like a decent like little fan base growing. And so they hit me up. They're like, "Yo, do you want to like DJ our frat party thing? It's like a paint party." I was like,
Oh, great.
Yeah,
SAE.
sick. They offered me like a stupid amount of money for that time. Like,
Ooh.
I was shocked. Well, that also goes into the thing, like frats have way more money to spend. So like college frat shows, like even to this day, like the booking, like the fee is going to be like way higher than like any club show or festival because they just have so much in that budget.
Yeah.
So I was stoked because I was like, I don't have a job. I'm in high school. Like I'm just chilling, you know? So, they're like, "Oh, how old are you?" And I remember, I don't know why I responded like this. It wasn't malicious, but I was like, "Oh, I'm a sophomore." Like that's what came out of my mouth. So they're like, "Cool." So they pay for my flights and my hotel, and they flew my dad out. And looking back, they're probably confused as to why I flew my dad out with me.
Yeah. If you're a sophomore.
Yeah.
High school.
So when I show up, they're like, "Yo, you want a beer or anything?" And I was like, "No, I don't drink." And I'm also like under 21, but I also just didn't drink because, I know some people definitely like underage drink, but I didn't. And I still don't. But and they were like, "Wait, like how old are you? I thought you said you're a sophomore." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a sophomore in high school." And they're like, "Oh shit, okay, for sure." Like I was like,
jokes on them.
Hey,
who knows if it would have even happened if you told them that you were a sophomore in high school? They probably thought you were a sophomore in college.
Maybe I wouldn't be here right now. That
There
one show could have changed everything. Ripple effects.
So was the party lit or what?
It was pretty cool. It was like a packed house party. They had like a built-in wall like that they built to like act as a stage that was like separating things. And it was really cool. I had a good time. My dad had a good time. And then we flew back and everything was cool. I remember it was fun. Like that was like my first, I guess, literally show, but it wasn't a show. It was like a party. And I wasn't playing on CDJs. I had like an MPD like MIDI controller. It was just like Launchpad basically. I was just kind of launching clips of songs, and then I would like press a button to go down to like the next song and hit play. And it wasn't DJing. It was just performing, I guess. Because I was copying Big Chocolate, who was like him and Skrillex were like my inspirations to make music, and Big Chocolate would perform like that. So I was like, "Oh, I want to do it like that." But then later that year, I got asked to do like 8 dates on this like driving in a car tour with Dirt Monkey and Jansen. And I did direct support for those, and those were like bar shows as well. And those I also did on the MIDI controller. So those were like my first, I guess, shows in venues. So and they were
in
fun.
A legit venue.
There were some interesting places. I did a show in like Nashville where the bartender, Memphis. It was Memphis. The bartender found out I was 17, and she was like fucking like determined to get me drunk. And I was like, "Yo, this is like very inappropriate. Like you cannot be doing that. Like, that's not cool."
Yeah,
I obviously
she could lose her license, the whole bar.
Absolutely, she could. I couldn't tell you the name of the place. She probably doesn't work there anymore, but I was just very uncomfortable with that. And then there's also like there was just a lot of fun like random like club places. Like there was like little bar like joints and like club bar hybrids that we did, and I had fun because it was a nice way to like get to understand like being in front of a crowd. And some of them were like, they were mainly small. They were mainly like 100, 200 people, but I had a really fun time doing it. And we were just like in a car between every show. Like they would drive. And it would be like, some of them were like 9 hours in the car, and I would just be like listening to whatever they had to play. And like, they were introducing me to a lot of cool music. Jansen and Dirt Monkey were like the first artists to ever put me on. Like they were the first artists to like that noticed me. And they were like, Dirt Monkey's had like a really sick resurgence in the past few years, and he's like doing a lot of really cool stuff on like the Wook side of things. And I'm really happy to see that. And back then he was like on top in dubstep too. So like I looked up to him, and I was like doing stuff on their label. So that was a really cool moment for me. So that was like my first real show. And then I had a real show another real show, like the first one on CDJs, was direct support for Getter in LA at the Fonda Theater. And that was like a packed show. And that was like the craziest moment of my life. Skrillex was there. Like
What?
after, I was like, what is this? This is like, it was like I was like one of the coolest nights of my life.
That's when you know that you're on the right path.
It was that was a turning point in my life for sure.
That is so sick, man. Yeah. So you've gone through quite a lot in a short amount of time.
Yeah, very short amount of time. I was able to somehow not escape but skip the local DJ growing thing, which I'm very grateful to like be in a situation where I started off and like I basically started once I played on CDJs. I started off playing like a lot of direct support shows and then kind of just doing that from there. So I was very, 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 very thankful for that. Very short period of time. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, can't wait to see what more you have in store for the future. But all right, next question. Regain Brown wants to know, how did you and Jess meet?
We met through the internet. It wasn't necessarily, it wasn't like a situation of like, oh, we think like we both like find each other attractive, let's like DM. It was a situation of like we had followed each other because of mutuals. Basically, I'd followed her and she thought that I was a bot. She
really?
I had like a follow bot, which I've never had a follow bot in my life. We just had mutual, people that followed each other, and it's like, okay, she had Dimlock Records in her bio, like she's in the industry, cool, like, let's be URL friends. And she had DM'd me it was like March 2019. She had DM'd me like, hey, like we have mutual friends, like do you want to get lunch or something? It was and I was like, oh, is this like business related? Like I didn't think, I was like what is this? And it turns out she was just trying to meet URL friends, like IRL, so she was just trying to network. And I was like, yeah, let's do something. And she we had made plans for dinner, a very platonic one, and we made these dinner plans that she fell asleep and was late for. 15 minutes before we were supposed to go, I was on my way to the place, was gonna get ramen, and I was like, hey, like we're still good? And she's like, yeah, I'm good. And I'm like, cool. And then just never heard from her again. And I was like, something had to have happened, because like if you're gonna ghost somebody, you wouldn't reconfirm 15 minutes before. You would ghost a couple hours before, I feel like. But she had fallen asleep. She was a little tie-dye. She fell asleep.
At least that's all it was.
No, for sure. So she woke up later that night, and we just like went and got ice cream and Jack in the Box and just like sat and talked. And I guess I don't know, I immediately felt a connection. I guess she did as well, because here we are 2.5 years later. So something went well there. Something went right.
Gotta love the internet, man. That's how I met Matt too. Instagram.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Just like social media?
Yeah, I just followed him because I saw he was a local artist here in Denver. And then he actually reacted to a story that I posted of my dog in front of the Christmas tree. And we met at Decadence, and the rest is history.
That's cute. That's awesome. How early do you guys put up your Christmas trees?
Like week or two before.
I put mine after Thanksgiving.
Mine's up right now.
Hey, I love that.
No judgment.
Yeah. I should probably go get one, honestly. I don't even own one here.
I know, damn. I'm like in a small ass apartment. I mean, it's not small. It's just I have a fuck ton of stuff, so it feels like small.
Yeah. So I need one of those mini ones, like the 3-foot trees.
Yeah,
for real. Same here.
We have really tall ceilings in our apartment, so we have like a normal size tree, but next year I want to get like a 12-foot or something. I want to get something crazy.
You should. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Need a ladder to hang up all those lights though.
Oh no, I'll do it. I'll just like stand on my desk, because it's like right here. I would move the camera if it wasn't like solidified into the desk right now, but I need to get like something nice for it.
Get some custom Disciple or Vulpatron ornaments.
I think Disciple might. I need to get some Vulpatron ones made. That's really smart. Thank you for that idea. I don't know if I'm legally binded to like owe royalties on that, but I will be taking that.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, tis the season.
That's really smart.
So we have another question from Jerry Hagel. He's asking if there's going to be a Battle of the Bros VIP of the VIP, and he needs to know who wins.
There technically is a VIP for the VIP. I've been playing it out. I started playing it at Base Canyon and Lost Lands. where the heavy drops, like that, well, they're both heavy drops. The Britum part or whatever, like the second drop, it's like heavier now. And it's like a little slower paced. But that'll never come out. That's for the shows. That's for the festivals, if anything, not even like the club shows. So well, in the winner, I will never reveal. There is a winner though. I'm like, I feel in my heart that there is absolutely one winner. And I'm not just saying like, oh, there's no winner because like you want to keep it going. I believe there's a winner, but I just won't say because I don't want to cause shit.
Yeah. Better left unsaid.
Yeah, it's a dangerous topic to get into, like what's a better genre, especially a subgenre of dubstep. You're asking for it for sure. Like absolutely.
All right. King Antoine wants to know if you have any tips for someone new to mixing and wanting to produce. Much love.
Absolutely. Don't overthink it. A lot of people overanalyze their mix downs and their masters, and they like to EQ every little thing, and they don't need to. I have a Patreon that I talk to like people about this all the time, and I'm always saying like people like to cut out like all these frequencies that don't need to be cut out, and it's kind of like fixing something that's not broken. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And a lot of people I think do that, and it causes holes in the mix, and it's just a process. So just literally just chill out, cut out the lows so that way you can have room for your sub, and then make sure nothing is like clipping. And that's sometimes all you need. And then you can focus on the master, which can be for like stereo imaging and all that stuff. So just don't overthink it. It's literally less is more most of the time for me. I don't even understand half of the producer terms that people will throw at me. They're talking about mid-side EQ. I don't know what mid-side means. I don't know what that is.
We don't either. So
yeah, I know as much as you do. I'm telling you right now.
We're just behind the mics. We're just the podcast dubstep girls, but don't know nothing about producing. That's over my head, outside of my wheelhouse.
It's over my head half the time, so I feel it.
Mad respect though. I do have one that I was curious about from Brady Brianna. What started the Tron thing? Vulpatron, Movietron, etc.
So Vulpatron in general started as this guy, his name is Kai. And he is a vocalist, rapper, songwriter, and he was with my friends Dank Sinatra, who were like this trap. They were a trap group out of.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, they're out of Florida, and I had worked with them on some stuff, and I was asking Kai, who's friends with them, like, "Yo, and they recorded stuff." I was like, "Yo, can you like record me some vocal like tags? Just shit that was like Skrillex is like, yo, Skrill, drop it hard and stuff like that." So I wanted my own, you know. So I was like, oh, get me something cool. And so he did a bunch of like, Ayo Volpe, drop that bass, all this stuff. And then they told him as a joke, like, do Vulpatron, like a kind of like Megatron and stuff like that. And he was like, nah. And they're like, do it. And he's like, okay. And he did Vulpatron 9000. And I loved it. So I used it in all my songs, and then it got shortened to Vulpatron. And it was actually Jess's idea on my stories to start making everything Tron. Just like, and I don't like, it's just like, I guess this is like literally just like an expansion of the branding, really, is all. There's no like deeper meaning. It's just added in, you know? So podcast Tron right now.
Yeah. Fun joke, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it clicks. Like, I don't know. I just like the rhyme to it.
Yeah. It rolls off really nicely sometimes, you know, like Movietron and like Lunchytron, Dinnertron. Those are really good.
Dinnertron. It's almost that time.
You know, it is. After this, I will be munching for sure.
I gotta go to the Jimmytron.
There you go, Jimmytron.
I'm over here like drinking a beer, and I'm like, I should have gone to the gym before this, but whatever. It's
you
been
went yesterday.
My like 9th Red Bull. It's only my first one.
I did go last night, and last night was leg day, and that was rough. And I'm feeling it today for sure.
You're not moving today. It's just solidified to the chair.
Yeah, exactly. My ass is just basically glued to this chair today.
That's valid.
Well, earlier you mentioned the 9K, but someone, damn guru, asked, will you restock your Vulpatron 9K jersey?
I will be. I will not say when, but I will say soon. Just very soon. Context clues, you can probably piece it together when it would be, like when it makes sense to drop.
Black Friday.
That's a good guess.
All right. Black Friday. We'll keep a lookout on the Vulpatron social media handles.
Yeah. There's a fan that has the Vulpatron Twitter, and it's really cool. They post memes and stuff, and I wish I had got the tag first.
Someone has that. Oh, it's I didn't know that there was a fan account for you.
Yeah, it's just Twitter.com. I don't think they've been active lately. I don't know. Maybe they got in trouble. Maybe they're like got grounded and banned off social media. Or maybe they hate me now. I don't know.
You did something to upset them.
Yeah, they're gonna start tweeting "fuck Ray Volpe" on the account. Yeah.
Oh no.
Like, damn it, he drinks Red Bulls instead of Monsters. Fuck him.
Yeah, I used to drink Monster like all through high school because I was like a scene kid. Because I drank, I liked post hardcore and stuff. So Red Bull wasn't. If you were like a scene kid, you didn't drink Red Bull. You definitely drank Monster. So, like that was my whole life.
You don't like Bang?
I tried one recently and I didn't like it.
Was it the flavor, or you just didn't like how it made you feel?
Flavor. Like, are you guys Bang fans?
I'll drink it, but not like the only times I'll ever drink it actually is if I'm going on long road trips, because like it'll actually keep me awake.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. I don't like Monster anymore at all. I think going into EDM and playing shows and being around Red Bull, it like just formed my taste buds, and now I fucking like I can't actually, you know what, if Monster is listening to this and they want to work with me, I love Monster.
Hey, didn't they just sponsor Subtronics?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They
That's
did
a
like
big
they did
one.
a tour, right? Yeah. I think they've done stuff with Keizo, I think, and like they did Excision's tour in the past and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Damn, that's cool.
I wouldn't be surprised. Monster, if you're listening to this, DUBSTEP FBI and Ray Volpe, we love you.
Oh, we love Monster.
We need a unique flavor.
That'd be cool. A custom like DUBSTEP FBI flavor energy drink.
Tastes like Investigations.
Or even just like dubstep.
Yeah.
Dubstep flavor.
I don't think that would taste good. I'm gonna be honest.
It would probably taste like BO and candy.
Yeah, it's gonna taste it's gonna taste musty for sure. Like
it'll
musty
taste like
weed.
It'll taste like day 3 of Lost Lands.
Oh.
Just dust.
Don't remind me.
It's a can of just dust.
Man, that was quite the weekend. That was a crazy weekend.
Did you guys go from Thursday?
Mm-hmm. Yep, all 4 nights.
It's tiring at the end of it. Base Canyon, I felt like was more tiring though, because
really,
like where we were staying at Lost Lands, it's like 30 minutes away or whatever. But like Base Canyon, you're like a 3-hour trip each way. Like one way is 3 hours.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we did 24 hours for the whole weekend, literally, because we went from Thursday, so it was 6 hours like every night.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah,
dude.
it must be in the middle of nowhere then.
Yeah, it's in like George Washington, because the gorge is there, so it's George Washington.
Oh, I see.
Did you guys have like a shuttle at least, or a driver?
So they had a shuttle that was like those like the 10 passenger ones, like the white vans for the artists, like every whatever hours or something like that. They're like, oh, here's the shuttle, and then we just hopped on.
Damn. So if you ended late, then you're getting home by like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. even.
We were getting home like 2 to 4 a.m. on those nights. Yeah.
That's rough. Well, we got the lightning round next. So these are not submitted questions from the fans. These are just questions that we came up with. So just try and answer as quickly as you can with these, hence why it's called a lightning round.
Yeah, you said shut up and answer the fucking question.
Shut the fuck up and answer. I'm just kidding. All right. So first question is, what is your pre-show routine?
Freaking out because my set isn't finished and stressing myself and my girlfriend out, and then getting to the venue and being okay, and then I do well. But it's just stress. Very
healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right, hasn't that happened to Matt before, Chrissy?
He usually has his sets done, but the worst thing is he gets there and one of the decks doesn't work, or it's like skipping or something like that.
Oof, that's a pain. I hate when like there's always like some random thing that happens, especially like I go to sound check and everything's fine, and then I show up during my set, I'm like, what happened?
Yeah. Comes with the territory.
Mm-hmm.
Next question. This is our standard DUBSTEP FBI question. Fuck, marry, kill. Nightmare, Adventure Club, Barely Alive.
Fuck, that's really hard. I really like all of them a lot. I have collabs with all of them. That's great.
I saw they all brought you out at Lost Lands too, huh?
Yeah, might have to cancel. Might have to cancel one of them after this. I think I'm going to. I'm sorry for this. Okay, I'm gonna fuck Nightmare. Very handsome man. I'm gonna marry Adventure Club because they are the sweetest boys I've ever met in my life. And unfortunately, I have to kill Barely Alive. But I think it's okay because if we're talking like live shows, that's just Willie. There's a whole other guy and he could take over. Matt could take over. They won't know. So we're good.
Hey, and if you're playing like some sort of video game, you can always revive him, right?
Exactly. Like someone could take over the second generation with the helmet, you know, so that can continue. That can continue on. So I'm just thinking on the terms of business, though.
That's the hack. That's a loophole.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thinking strategically.
Love to see it.
Absolutely.
So can we, when you and Adventure Club get married, can we come to the wedding at least?
Absolutely. Yeah. But you guys are the reason we're getting married now. Yeah.
We'll be giving a speech then.
Okay, for sure. All because of a game on the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly. All right. How many IDs are you sitting on?
A lot. Like a lot, mainly collabs right now. But probably like 20, 30.
That's fat.
Yeah.
That's a good amount.
Half of them are like being played. The other half are like, need to work more on.
Okay, this is our last question. Do you produce any other genres besides dubstep?
Yes, I do both heavy and melodic dubstep. So like in the dubstep realm, I make some poppy stuff like that I don't put out, like some just like random like ballady kind of things. I'll do like EDM pop infused stuff. I'll make house sometimes, which like house, like bass housey stuff, which I put out a couple of those recently. I'll dabble in the trap, and I have a lot of like rock influence stuff as well. All the vocals are very rock influenced, and then I have like a couple songs in the works that are like they have like full on rock sections. Like I'm working on a song with Frank Zuma, who's the drummer from Sum 41.
That's a big one.
Yeah, really, really, really great guy, and we're both from New York, and we just like bonded over that incredibly, and we're like, let's work on something. And it's like a really cool like upbeat rock section of this melodic dubstep song, so it like switches completely. So that's really cool.
Ooh,
I make everything.
Yeah, that's sick.
Hopefully it comes out one day.
Oh, that'll definitely come out. I hope like everything's gonna come out next year. I've got 2 more songs coming out this year.
Okay.
Otherwise, everything will be next year.
Sweet.
So maybe the Marshmello one, we can be expecting that one next year. Fingers crossed.
I hope so. Fingers crossed, because we know damn well that's not up to me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. All right, Mello, I want to put this out right now. He's like, okay, I'm on it. Like it's just.
Yeah, not quite how it works with him.
Yeah, for sure. I think we did talk about it though. It was definitely a conversation of like, do you want this to come out? And he's like, yeah, for sure. Because some collabs, are made for just like, they're never gonna ever get put out. So ideally, it will.
Well, I mean, his last album, he had the collab with Subtronics. He had a bunch of collabs.
Yeah, I had a bunch on there.
Cool. So there's hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fingers crossed for you. So before we actually wrap this up, do you have any final words to all the audiences who are listening in right now?
Yeah. Hi. If you're just a listener of EDM and dubstep and all that, then hello. Thank you for listening to my music. Thank you for being a fan of Dubstep FBI. You guys are really cool people. If you are a producer, keep working. If you're an aspiring producer, keep working on it. Consistency is everything. Sometimes less is more, like I was saying, in terms of like Mixdown and stuff. So don't overthink things. If you guys need production help, I do have a Patreon, if I can plug that, which is just patreon.com/Ray Volpe. I do sample packs, production tutorials, all that type of stuff. I don't know. Buy my merch, come to my shows. I don't know. whatever. Like, go
support this man.
Thank you. Support Dubstep FBI. You guys are really cool. I appreciate what you guys are doing a lot. It's cool. I feel like you guys are like one of the few doing it well in like the basic area. So
wow. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.